Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. I'm now joined by the former heavyweight champion of the world, Frank Bruno from Great Britain. Frank, you lost your championship 4 years ago to Mike Tyson.
Definitely did, sir. You feel about the car, but when you're outside, sitting around, no sun or nothing like that, you get freezing, man. Very freezing.
Frank, it's good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, man. You take it easy. And hello to everybody in America. Wicked.
All right, back to you, Steve.
All right, Jim, the affable, engaging Frank Bruno, who was unquestionably intimidated in his fight with Mike Tyson. Lou Savary says that won't happen. We'll see later in our main event.
It appears as Lou Savary said to talking with him yesterday, has the right attitude about this. He's approaching it the right way, with the right ideas and the right things. But can you do them? I could paint it on paper, Steve, that you could be Mike Tyson.
Well,
I can show you how, but can you do it?
He's got it all in theory, doesn't he? But can he do it in the ring?
He does it then.
Well, in round 6, Judah continued to show examples of his ring experience and continued to pile on points. And now he just chases Witter around. Witter just getting spun around and tied up in knots. Very awkward. And Judah, you know, he says, hey, you want to face me or back me? I'll keep hitting you.
He's offering up less and less offenses. Witter just wants to get out of the way. Probably just wants to survive now.
Well, we've reached the halfway point. Bobby, unofficially, what does your scorecard say?
I couldn't find a round. A couple rounds that were reasonably close, but I couldn't find a round to give Witter. Zab Judah's getting the job done, not the way he wants to, I'm sure, but he's still getting it done.
So Judah throwing a shutout from Bobby's standpoint. Judah continuing to apply pressure after figuring Witter out. Three judges working this particular contest, but interestingly enough, in our main event, only the referee, who will be John Coyle, will score the bout. Those are the rules here in the United Kingdom for non-title bouts.
I don't think we're going to need him.
That's what they said in the last fight, and that's what happened, which ended in the second round. Julius Francis losing to Mike Tyson. But it's interesting, the referee in that kind of a fight will put the scores in his pocket, and nobody but the ref knows the official score. But I agree with you. I think it's going to be immaterial.
Going into tonight's fight, I thought that Zab Judah needed to use his overall speed, which he has, keep the pressure on, which he's been doing, and the right uppercut inside landed not as much as the overhand left, but he's been doing the things he needs to do to win the fight, and his counterpart just can't do it. He's made Zab miss, but he has not made him pay. Take him into late rounds, but with no real effects. He's not winning any of the rounds.
Well, there's a good left hand out of nowhere by Junior Witter. It scored right on the tip of Judah's nose. Coming up next, our main event, Mike Tyson versus Lou Savary. Let's go into the dressing room of the former champion Mike Tyson, getting a little stretching exercises in there, a little bit of a rub down, getting ready for his 52nd pro fight. 47-3, 1-no contest, 41 knockouts, losing to Buster Douglas in Tokyo, and of course the two memorable losses to Holyfield, the rematch by DQ for biting Holyfield's ears. Looks very relaxed. Tattoos all over the body. There's Che Guevara. I think he's got Mao there somewhere as he gets ready for Lou Savary. Back to our co-feature now, round 8. Witter's last punch of round 7, perhaps his best of the fight. It came just before the bell.
You know, the interesting thing about when the referee scores the fight by himself, too, he doesn't give his score to an announcer, and then an announcer, he just walks over and raises a man's hand. So you don't even know if it was a close fight or a runaway in his eyes.
Very secretive in Great Britain. But as you say, it will really be an upset if it gets to that point in the main event. It's scheduled for 10. This one scheduled for 12. for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship, 140-pounders. Zab Judah in a very compelling division with champions like Kostya Tszyu, Shambe Mitchell, Randall Bailey, Teron Millette waiting in the wings to try to get back in, former champion. What do you think Judah will need to do to rise above the other champions?
You know, he simply needs to beat them all. And again, simply put, it's not a simple thing to do. There's a wealth of talent there, tremendous records, tremendous skills, a lot of experience. It's a whole lot of fighting. I don't think it would be possible to get all of those champions to even sign a fight to fight you.
Yeah, it seems like on any given night, any one of those champions can deliver.
Right now, it appears to be that Kostya Tszyu might be the name, the man to beat. Big power, good boxing skills, good endurance. Right now, he could be the man. Shambe Mitchell also an incredible fighter, also a southpaw like Zab Judah.
Tszyu has a fight coming up against the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez on July 29th, right here on Showtime. A fight that many are calling a mismatch in Kostya Tszyu's favor.
It may not be a fond farewell to Mr. Chavez on that night, and I know Kostya Tszyu has no nice plans for him.
Many feeling, of course, that Chavez's best days are behind him. All right, back to the activity here. Round number 8, a fight that is being controlled by the champion, Zab Judah, although the challenger is being quite entertaining, Junior Witter.
It's impossible to look good against a fighter with this type of style. Nothing is orthodox. Nothing is by the book. Nothing is the way you draw it up on paper. Punches from certain crazy angles, feet tangled up, switching every 2 minutes. It's amazing.
If anything, a learning experience for Zab Judah. I guess each fight is a learning experience as he really heats it up now. Judah on the attack, pouring it on for the moment.
That was the best 3 punches in a row that Zab was able to land, but even at that, that was it. There was no more available. He ran back to the ropes, came in and held.
Judah looking to fight Teron Millette on August the 5th. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Steve. Well, the stadium here in Glasgow seats about 50,000 for soccer. And we were told coming over here that there were about 40,000 seats that were sold for tonight's event. Well, I spoke to the promoters, and they have informed us that about 13,000 to 14,000 tickets were returned some 10 days to 14 days ago because of the uncertainty as to whether or not this fight would come off and whether or not, in fact, Mike Tyson would show up. Those orders were returned. That combined with the weather tonight, and when you also factor in that there is a city ordinance here in Glasgow and in all of Scotland, a state ordinance, that no one can walk up and buy a ticket because of the problems that they've had with some soccer and the hooliganism that goes on here in this country. So you cannot walk up and buy a ticket. So tonight's crowd is about 24,000 to 25,000 people. Thus the reason for the empty seats, Steve.
All right, Jim, thanks very much for that report.